Good evening and welcome to the Channel studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5.
Will those in favor of the draft resolution contained in document S/.
The United States has for the 6th time vetoed a draft resolution at the United Nations Security Council that would have demanded an immediate and permanent ceasefire in Gaza and the release of hostages. US Deputy Middle East Envoy Morgan Ortagus said the text did not go far enough in condemning Hamas or recognize Israel's right to defend itself.
Those against.
All 14 other members of the Security Council voted in favor of the draft resolution, which described the humanitarian situation in Gaza as catastrophic and called on Israel to lift all aid restrictions. It comes as the UN's Humanitarian Office warns that the last lifelines for civilians are collapsing in Gaza City as Israel expands its military offensive.
Colleagues, U.S. opposition to this resolution will come as no surprise. It fails to condemn Hamas or recognize Israel's right to defend itself, and it wrongly legitimizes the false narratives benefiting Hamas, which have sadly found currency in this council. Council members ignored when the United States made clear that this resolution was unacceptable. The Council instead adopted for performative action designed to draw a veto that extends Hamas terrorists and those who fund them and support them and gives them a lifeline.
The family of a British couple who were detained by the Taliban for nearly 8 months say they are overwhelmed with gratitude and relief at the couple's release. Peter Reynolds and his wife Barbie, who lived in Afghanistan for nearly 2 decades, were on their way home when they were stopped on the 1st of February. The couple were freed on Friday morning through Qatari mediation. A Qatari official said they would fly to Qatar for medical checks before travelling to the UK. The Taliban said the pair had broken Afghan laws, but never disclosed the reason for their detention.
At home, your family or friends? Family, friends, and yeah. God is good, as they say in Afghanistan.
They were very relieved to be going home, and they're just delighted to be reunited with their family when they will be very shortly. I'm not a doctor, but they are very happy. I think they're very happy is the main point.
Meanwhile, a Taliban official has rejected the idea that the US could retake a key airbase in Afghanistan after President Donald Trump told reporters he wanted it back. Zakir Jalal, who works in the Taliban's foreign ministry, said the idea of the US maintaining any military presence in Afghanistan was completely rejected during talks between the two sides before the Taliban returned to power. It came after the US president hinted at retaking Bagram Air Base, the epicenter of NATO forces in Afghanistan for 2 decades. The base was handed to the Afghan military shortly before the Taliban took control of Afghanistan.
Welcome one and all to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert.
America's late-night TV hosts have rallied behind fellow comedian Jimmy Kimmel after he was suspended by ABC in a row over comments he made about the killing of Charlie Kirk. Stephen Colbert began his show by saying, "We are all Jimmy Kimmel."
Okay, good. Yesterday, after threats from Trump's FCC chair, ABC yanked Kimmel off the air indefinitely. That is blatant censorship.
Yeah, a lot of people are worried that we won't keep saying what we want to say or that we'll be censored.
While Jimmy Fallon tackled the free speech issue by doing satirical sketches in which they were apparently forced to praise Donald Trump.
Here we go. Well, guys, President Trump just wrapped up his 3-day trip to the UK, and he
looked incredibly handsome.
Their broadcasts came shortly after the US president said the main networks were overwhelmingly negative about him and could have their licenses taken away. And Egypt's Interior Ministry says that a 3,000-year-old gold bracelet that disappeared from the Egyptian Museum in Cairo was stolen and melted down. A restoration specialist took the artifact, which dates back to a pharaoh who ruled Egypt around 1000 BC, from a safe at the museum 9 days ago. The ministry said 4 individuals confessed to their crimes after being arrested and that the money was seized. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel studios in Lagos.